it is very easy in the business world to get discouraged because it's difficult. We tend to think that you named it. You said something that is very common knowledge for most early entrepreneurs. The game is rigged. It's not meant to happen for me. It's too difficult. The game is designed for others. And the answer is no. It is difficult for all of us.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Hey, we're almost in mid-March. If I didn't give you an entrepreneurial tip, idea at this point, listen to my next guest. His name is Jose Berlanga. And Jose, you came to this country kind of young, and now you've been in a variety of businesses, but real estate building seems to be your thing now. Hey, you're successful at it. Could you have become successful in your home country or in another country? Or is it something about the United States that just kind of attracts successful people?
Well, Kerry, thank you for having me. Great to be here. And yes, I came here when I was kind of young, looking for a better financial future, of course. And that's a great question, because I still believe I've traveled a lot, as we were talking about a little bit ago. I've spent a lot of time in different parts of the world, and I do believe that this is still the place where you have the best opportunities. And when you act properly, when you focus, when you have a vision, when you understand where you're headed, definitely the United States is a place that provides the most opportunities, and perhaps where you can make it the fastest. The environment is here. The capital is here. The financing is here. The economy for growth is all put together. All of the right ingredients, I think, are here. Not to say that it's not possible to become successful in any other country. Democratic, of course, governments that allow you to start and build and operate your businesses. But this is the place. This is where you can do it the fastest and in the best way possible, where there are the most opportunities.
It's nice to hear that, because we hear so much negativity in the news. The game is rigged, which it always has been. That's what I think you have to realize. But that the opportunity still exists, and the system can work for you if you make it work for you, which you obviously have. So, builder, developer, how'd you get into that area?
Most of the businesses that I've gotten into were by accident opportunities. I talk a lot about building the right partnerships, surrounding yourself with the right people that share your vision, your personality within the business world, and little by little you start relating yourself with others that have your same desire to be in the business world. And somehow I've been offered opportunities to either partner with others or to participate at some capacity. Sometimes I have the capital, so I join in as the investor. Sometimes I go in as helping put the deal together. This particular one, I was young enough. I had a very little capital, but a lot of time to invest in starting a construction company. So
you had more time than money, right?
Yes. The younger you are, the more time. As you get older, probably you have a little more capital and less time to contribute to the business world. So yeah, it's been a ride where I always have my eyes open, and I'm always paying attention to what I love entrepreneurship. And now one of the things that I understand the most is construction and development. So that's where I'm focusing and sticking to it for the most part.
So looking back, we all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we hadn't. What is like one major thing you would change if you could change it? Or put it this way, what is one thing that you would tell that younger version of you that you've learned to help that younger version of you grow?
I love this question because if I had I do it, by the way, not just to myself, not just speaking to my younger self, but to others. And I wouldn't tell them one thing. I would just overwhelm them with advice, because you need a lot of things to succeed, not just one thing that works. And one of them is just have faith, do what you need to do, focus, be responsible, wake up and be there present, understand that it doesn't happen in one day. Don't lose your patience. Don't get discouraged when things go wrong. It is very easy in the business world to get discouraged because it's difficult. We tend to think that you named it. You said something that is very common knowledge for most early entrepreneurs. The game is rigged. It's not meant to happen for me. It's too difficult. The game is designed for others. And the answer is no. It is difficult for all of us. It's just that when we're starting to build a business and it gets extremely difficult, overwhelming, we tend to think that it's just us. And just because we are not getting the support and the help from the right circumstances, but it is hard for anyone and everyone that's starting a business. So don't get discouraged. Just, it is supposed to be difficult. You're supposed to spend endless number of hours every day of every month for years until things begin to come together. So just keep trucking, keep going.
One of my favorite little sayings is live life as if it's rigged in your favor.
That's a good way to, it never feels like it, but you should act on it and understand that, yes, if you put the time and the effort, which is something I did, and I'm blessed, I was lucky enough to do it early enough in my life, because something else that we tend to neglect is that every business, it requires a learning curve. Takes time for us, even if we work for someone else in the same industry and eventually went on our own, there are always different parts, ingredients of the business that we weren't exposed to. Maybe you were in the technical or in the design or in the on the number side and the financial side, but now you may have to learn management. You may have to learn how to deal with other. There's always so much to learn when you start a business and when you're trying to build something, that it's going to take some time in a learning curve, and we have to allow that time to work. And the earlier you get into the game, the better chances.
Absolutely. Hey, my father always used to say, anytime you go into a new business, you're going to pay for lessons.
Yes. And I do recommend, and I think a lot of people do, is to learn under somebody else's direction. That's why if you're able to identify the type of business, the type of industry that you enjoy, and before jumping headfirst in attempting to start a business, start working for someone and get to learn as much as possible about the business, and then go on your own with your own philosophies, with your own product or your own concept. But at least you've learned the fundamentals. Otherwise, you may end up making some costly mistakes.
Yeah.
Right when you begin, and that's normal too. I've been there. I've made every mistake possible in the business world.
Another of my favorite quotes is a smart man will learn from his own mistakes. A truly wise man will learn from the mistakes of others.
I love that one, and it's very true. Some of us are a little too stubborn to want to take the example and the advice of others. Uh, some people just neglect to understand that experience can be acquired through other people and not just from ourselves. And we tend to think that whatever decisions we make are always the right ones. That there's some to be said about that. We need to try new things, but also take advantage of other people's experience that have traveled those difficult roads to building a business. And sometimes we're just not mature enough to want to learn from other people's mistakes.
So true. I could not agree with you more. Speaking of mistakes, I see you like to mentor people. What are like some common mistakes that you see younger wannabe entrepreneurs making?
They focus the younger generation of entrepreneurs. I would say some of the top ones is they want to focus on the money. They want to make money. They want to make it now. Immediate gratification. Mm-hmm. They don't have everything figured out. They just want to jump into an opportunity for the sake of making money, rather than, and then you have the other extreme.
They don't get rich quick, right?
Yes. I've seen two spectrums: either jump in because I want to make a quick buck, or I want to be fully passionate and interested in what I'm doing. And if everything is not perfect the way I like it, the way I enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. My recommendation is there's got to be a happy medium where you need money to start a business. You need a profit in order to grow and build your business, but it doesn't have to be all about money. And on the other hand, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to like the industry that you're joining, but it's not always going to be pretty and rosy and fun and exciting. There are going to be tough days, activities that are not joyful. So meet somewhere in the middle.
That old saying, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Correct.
And that means that to me, internally, I've been happiest when I love what I'm doing. And I know that if I do it well and I keep doing it and getting as good as I can at it, like podcasting, like this, that eventually the money is just going to come to me. But, that's me talking as an almost 68-year-old, telling myself that as a 20-year-old, I wouldn't have believed myself, that old cliche, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And and somebody explained to me what that really meant recently, which is that if you're doing something you love, then you got to make money, but you would do it even if you weren't getting paid for it. And once you start doing something, getting paid for it, trading time or money, then you're doing something you wouldn't do, but for the money. And
yeah.
It's kind of a logical progression, but I didn't really understand that till recently. And I've been very fortunate in my life doing things that I loved. When I stopped loving them, I stopped doing them, sometimes to my financial detriment. So
this is a very, very interesting and difficult subject, finding that balance, because ultimately all we have is our time. And you are so right. When you begin to sell your time in exchange for activities that you dislike or hate or dread getting up in the morning, we're so full of cliches in the world that are true. I mean, you only live once. The life is short. You don't want to waste it doing these things. I do believe that there's a period of time in which you have to pay your dues and do some things that are not fun for the sake of having a better life down the road. And you need to have a little bit of that. But know when it's time to move on. You do need to make money. Otherwise, you cannot continue doing something that you love. That's the difficult part. And in the moment you find that, yes, things get funner and easier. And since there's always a probability that things are not all is going to go well in the business world. It's less painful when you're spending your day something that is pleasant than if you end up doing something that you highly dislike and fail eventually or not get what you thought you were going to get. Now you perhaps wasted years of your life and got nowhere. So at the very least, when you're finding activities that you enjoy, you're not wasting your life altogether, even if the money's not coming as fast as you expected. And it's not going to come as fast just for doing something that you dislike.
That's so true. All right, Jose, how do we find out more about you? How do we connect with you on the web? And where do we find you?
Well, joseberlanga.com. My book is out on Amazon, The Business of Home Building. It's more about entrepreneurship, by the way, how to start and build businesses, but focusing using the example of the construction industry, the residential construction industry. Dirt Rich is my next book that's coming out in the next.
I love it. That's such a great title, man.
Yeah. And all sounds like it. It's not just about money. It's about the philosophy of how to invest, the value that land represents in the world of real estate. So you can find those on Amazon and joseberlanga.com. I'm very easy to find. Google Jose Berlanga and I'm there. Hopefully there'll be much more material soon as I'm starting to join the program and do a little more social media. Since I'm in the age group where I've been avoiding it, but
no, you got to do it, man. Like, hey, we're both probably inherently at heart private people who don't really want to air our successes or our failures out to the public. But this is a new world. You get compensated for this and you get rewards that you can't even imagine. So never feel embarrassed. I mean, I won't tell somebody how much money I make. It's none of their damn business. There are the millennials. They don't care. They'll tell you down to the last decimal what they're making. But point being, you're giving from the heart, and that is the most important thing. Hey, I've got a question for Jose, myself. Shoot me an email at kl@kerrylutz.com, and we'll answer it quickly. You can find a link to Jose's site in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. All we ask is when you visit, please sign up for your free newsletter like over 75,000 other FSN community members have. Jose, appreciate you coming on. Good luck. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.